Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome into Two-Man Game here on ClavesOnline.com. I'm Matthew Rocc. That's Bob Ramsey, and we're here to talk a little basketball following the NBA Finals. Before we get started, Rammer, how are you doing today, sir?
I am great. It's always a pleasure to visit with you.
Absolutely. Let's dive right into it. Game 5 of the NBA Finals, the Nuggets taking down the Heat 94-89. It was not a very pretty game. Even as somebody who obviously is a big Nikola Jokic fan, I found myself kind of rooting for the Heat to make an unlikely comeback and send it to Game 6 because I wasn't really ready to finish out the NBA season with that ugly of a game, Rammer. Nonetheless, congratulations to the Nuggets. But really, I mean, for a team that was the best offense in the regular season and took their offense to new heights in the playoffs, not how you saw a clinching game happening for them.
It was really ugly. Aesthetically speaking, it looked to me like two absolutely exhausted teams.
Yeah.
Both of them, I think, were really dragging.
Yeah, absolutely. And it really was a fascinating NBA season and really a weird playoffs. It would have been honestly interesting to see if, like, the Suns, if they made the Durant trade a little bit earlier, if he wouldn't have been hurt right out of the gate, and they coalesced a little bit more, could they have, the Nuggets lost 4 games. The Suns responsible for 2 of those, so could they have maybe changed something up? I'm not sure. There's a lot of complaints about it, this being, Denver, Miami, an 8 seed in there. I thought for a lot of the playoffs we just saw in some incredible basketball, and it really was one of the funnier NBA seasons. And obviously, watching Jokic and the Nuggets close it out that way, I loved the stories and some of the things we got. I wanted to actually dive into some of the fun stuff from the post game because I really thought that was the highlight of Game 5 in the championship was the celebration. First of all, I wanted to say I figured you probably like this too because it's a classy move. Jokic going to all the Heat players at the end of the game, kind of shaking their hand and sending them off with a little message before he started his celebration. I love that. He's such a classy guy. Yeah,
absolute class.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the hilarity kind of started as you got into the post game interviews. The biggest one that everyone's talking about is Nikola Jokic was asked about the schedule for the Nuggets celebrations, and here was how that question and conversation went down.
You said after the Lakers win, you said you were surprised that you didn't feel more. So I'm curious what you are feeling right now, and if you're looking forward to a parade coming up in Denver.
When is parade? When is parade?
Thursday.
No. I need to go home. Okay. Nobody likes his job, or maybe they do. They're lying.
How do you not love that guy?
Nobody likes their job. If they do, they're lying.
He looks at the guy. When is it? Thursday. Oh, God. He was going to fly home right after he got up from that table. He was going the freak home.
I didn't cut it. I should have cut it as well. But also there was a moment where somebody, because him and Novak Djokovic, obviously both being Serbians and both being superstars, there's been a thing where they've been texting each other during each other's big moments in their careers. And so obviously Novak Djokovic has his moment over the weekend, passing Rafael Nadal and winning his championship. And so they asked Jokic, who said, I sent a text to Nikola. They're like, oh, hey, did Novak text you with the win? He grabs his phone, picks it up, looks at his phone, and immediately goes, oh, mother. And he covers his head, and somebody goes, a lot of texts, he just goes, I'm turning my phone off. He was furious. The man was palpably angry at the fact that his phone probably had 3,000 text messages.
Yeah, you know what he'll do? He'll get back home. Won't throw that phone away. He'll put it somewhere and go get a new phone.
And he'll probably just have his brothers go through it and just be like, hey, just copy and paste spam. Thank you very much. Unless it's somebody we actually care about.
And if it's somebody we care about, go ahead and answer it.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't bother me.
By the way, if you're wondering about Nikola Jokic's brothers, if you were watching the celebrations, they were the other 2 7-foot dudes completely covered in tattoos who were throwing around either Nikola or the head coach of the Nuggets, Mike Malone, which was hilarious. I love the Jokic brothers so much.
Yeah, it's awesome, and I think it is a great part of the story, and I think it's also great that I was going to say he's just a regular guy for a 7-footer who currently is the best player in the world, playing in a foreign country, winning the foreign country championship as regular as that can make a guy.
Yeah, and as regular as you can be when you're the first ever player in NBA history to finish the playoffs with the most total points, total rebounds, and total assists in the entire playoffs. I mean, he's an everyman in a lot of ways, but an absolute an everyman in also no ways at all, because he's walking around as the best player on the planet.
By the way, what happened. We already established that we thought the game was kind of ugly and everybody looked tired. But if Joker, would he miss 8 free throws?
Yeah, something along those lines.
Throws and hits, as a team, they hit 2 or 3 more threes. It's a blowout. So it was ugly, but they controlled the contest except for the closeness of the score.
And the fact of the matter is that the Nuggets just couldn't hit anything for the first half. I mean, the fact that it was that close of a game is why I think there's a lot of Nuggets fans and people watching the game who weren't that worried about the outcome, because I mean, it's just the Heat were winning by 5, 6, 8, and it's just it was because the Nuggets were missing every open shot in the books. I mean, until Michael Porter Jr. really hit that backbreaker corner 3 and got the run going. Yeah. First of all, he had just missed a huge one, and he was 3 of 26 in the finals from deep. So, I mean, the offense wasn't clicking in the same ways, and partially it was the Heat's defense, but partially, like you said, was probably a very tired team. In fact, I have to say a lot of the reason I think Jimmy Butler was so ineffective this series was partially because he was so tired after, Herculean efforts to take down teams like the Bucks and the Celtics.
Yeah, and the other thing that really surprised me was that the Nuggets could win a championship, not a given game, but a championship with Porter really playing pretty poorly the last, 2-3 games of the series.
Well, here's the thing, though. What did he do the last 2-3 games of the series? He rebounded, especially in Game 5. He was tearing balls off the glass the entire game from the jump, even when he was missing shots. He passed the ball and he played better. He played better rotational defense.
Yeah, he just didn't score. You're right. Good point.
And that's kind of been the thing with him. Can he be a more well-rounded player? And he was in Game 5, and that was one of the reasons that the Heat were sticking only around 5 or 6 point leads instead of breaking it to 15.
Yeah, good point.
He was killing on the boards. By the way, later on that night, Nikola did visit the NBA TV set, and it looks like he may have figured out a way to get from Denver on Thursday to Sombor, I should say, as soon as possible.
Next week or two look like for you now? You got a parade coming up here on Thursday.
Yes.
How soon till you're back in Sombor?
I need to. On Sundays I have my horse racing in my
horse racing. I was going to get to that. The horse racing.
Maybe I don't know how we're going to arrive. Thursday parade, Friday maybe.
Would you make it?
I don't know.
Maybe you can have enough time to squeeze it in.
I'm going to ask Josh to give me a plane.
Oh, I think he'll definitely let you get the team plane.
I think you deserve that.
You deserve a little bit more than that.
I did it on TV. I'm going to finish by.
I put him under the pressure.
Put him under pressure.
Yes, I did.
Nicole,
I don't feel bad at all.
He's a billionaire, and your daddy touched the trophy before his daddy touched the trophy before you did as the MVP. He absolutely deserves. He owes you that plane.
I put him under the pressure. Yes, I did.
Yeah, how many times in your life do you want to be told by a 7-foot Serbian that I put him under the pressure?
That's beautiful. It's beautiful. Josh, give me the plane, man.
I just also, and again, it all comes back to the fact that man cares about so many things, and I don't know how high on that list basketball is, but I know it's below his horses because he wants to get back to Sombor, and he just wants to watch his horses race, which is so funny to me because, again, this is a guy who came up in Serbia, and it obviously it had developed this basketball culture because of Vlade Divac and those Yugoslavian teams that turn into obviously different countries, and you have to go through the war, and there's all that factoring in. And at the same time, as that's happening, all the Balkans are becoming a basketball hotspot. And now you see it. There's Croatian players and Slovenian players and Serbian players all over the league. And so to watch him, come up from those roots to take over the basketballing world and yet have zero want for any kind of clout. Nike, who he signed with, they put out a promo video about Nikola Jokic. It is black screen, white type. And then at the very end, they show a picture of Nikola celebrating the championship. And I don't know if there's a better personification of an athlete than that ad. An incredible job by Nike. And it's just crazy to me that story and that led to just a guy who just wants nothing more than just to completely go back home and probably, I don't know, maybe at the most coach his Olympic team. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he retires relatively early in his NBA career and then we never hear from him beyond, times when they honor him in Denver, or there's some kind of anniversary for, the Serbian teams that he's done really well with in the Olympics. It wouldn't shock me at all. The guy he's so cool, calm, and collective because, winning or losing a basketball game he cares 100%, but it's not the only thing he cares about. And I think there's something kind of beautiful about that.
Would you like to hear a clearly toxic, ugly American jingoistic take? You ready?
Yes.
You ready?
Okay.
I mean, it's everything I just said. I'm admitting it up front. Okay. Who knew Serbia had horse racing?
What? How is that? How
did
is
that
that?
Ever occur to you? Did it ever occur to you? Oh yeah, they're going. The Serbs are going to the track tonight. But that
makes a lot of sense to me, actually.
Yeah, but I never.
Ram, you want to hit
what are the sports in Serbia? Well, I know they play basketball, maybe some soccer. What about horse racing? No, they don't have that.
They play some mean soccer too. No, you know what's more? I'm going to hit you with something even more surprising. You ready for this one?
Yeah.
Did you know that Germany and Italy and even England, although Germany is the biggest one, have full on just American football leagues with whole teams and everything? There was a German league that had 35,000 fans in the stand.
No.
Yes.
It's not true.
It's a real thing. It's not NFL Europa. This isn't the Barcelona Dragons or the Hamburg Hammers, whatever the hell they were. It's a real. They're whole leagues. It baffles the hell out of me.
Yeah, fake news.
I thought you were going to say, "Look, America wins again."
That's a better answer.
I know. I thought it was going to be perfect. I was laying out the NASCAR track for you, as they will say. I only say NASCAR recently was in Le Mans, and I think that's just the funniest thing in the entire world. One more thing. Speaking of people with great sense of humors, Malika Andrews did an interview with Nikola Jokic earlier this year, and personally, as a larger fellow myself, one of the reasons I love Nikola, I just think he has a great message in it.
You were the 41st pick in the draft. A Taco Bell commercial was running when your pick was announced. What do you think of that now?
They believe in the fat boy, and it seems like it worked out. Yeah, don't bet against the fat boy.
Don't bet against the fat boy. 100% Nikola Jokic. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I don't like your footwork around the basket, though. You got some work to do.
My passing, though, it's my passing I need you to focus on.
You can pass.
I'm
sure you're a good passer.
Much like Nikola, it's all about the passing. I've watched way too many Bill Walton videos and not nearly played enough actual basketball.
Right.
There's an imbalance there.
No. What a weird question, though. She got a great answer. What do you think? What do you mean? They could have run a car commercial then. Does it mean, you know what I mean? I just thought it was a weird commercial, a weird question, but it got a great answer. So maybe it wasn't weird. Maybe it was really smart.
I can't imagine how many times he's heard the Taco Bell commercial anecdote being thrown at him at this point. But obviously, congratulations to the Nuggets. Obviously, congratulations to Mizzou player, Michael Porter Jr., if we're going to call it that. The Mizzou basketball Twitter did not get a very strong response from their message of congratulations to Josh Rocc, which did not go over very well. And not really sure you can expect it to go over very well.
Read the room.
In the first place.
Read the room.
The one last thing, Ray, before we get going, Michael Malone was talking about them winning another one. The night they won their first one, do you like the confidence, or would you wish maybe just kind of celebrate it a little bit before you put your foot in the mouth and get everyone a soundbite to use a year from now?
No, I think that's fine. Everybody gets it. The champagne's going. We're great. We won. Let's go get another one. I think that's okay.
Fair enough. Before we go, I want to get one little quick college basketball tag in there because the transfer portal obviously still wide open. SLU, still active in it. I actually wish Mizzou would be a little bit more active in it now that we're talking about that. But anyhow, St. Louis is hosting Malcolm Dandridge, be a fifth-year player coming out of Memphis, 6'7", kind of that perfect profile for what we think SLU's looking for. Right now, Raymer, as we stand here on June 14th, just kind of your thoughts on the SLU roster going into the summer.
Well, I don't know the roster unless I write it all down. And, we had a couple of guys already here and already gone. So it's hard to say. But if Bruce Zhang arrives and Van Bussel from Holland and Dalger, who is here, and Eziwiro from France, 6'9", 255, and I have Dandridge at 6'9", 260. Okay. So if all those guys end up playing here, and having said that, I have an understanding they're looking for some more help at point as well, even though you already got Medley and Hughes. It looks like they're trying to piece this thing together, and the Billikens go from one of the smallest teams in the league that was going to count on jump shooting to win into becoming one of the biggest teams, if not the biggest team in the league. Again, assuming all these names arrive on campus ready to play.
One quick thing, because you mentioned going from one of the smallest to the biggest teams. I hear tell that Mr. Thames is still growing. Is that true?
Well, I'm not sure what his birthday is. I should know that, but he's not 20 yet. And I think there's hopes that he could get to around 6'7" or so.
All right, and then that sounds like a lot of fun. 6'7" Alan Thames, absolutely a blast. You talked about a guard. I'm obviously really excited to see just how much point guard we see from Larry Hughes Jr. I think that could just be a really fun experiment for the Billikens. He showed a lot last year. Obviously, he's got a little bit more size than your typical point guard. I like the idea of him maybe just even guarding point guards on the other end when it comes down to really, talking about positional delineations. When you got Medley coming in, obviously he's going to be ball dominant as a point guard when he's in the game. But man, I love some of the young guards and just the length on this team. It's getting me excited, despite maybe not having the name recognition I think some fans would have wanted.
Well, Gibson Jimerson, 6'5" plus, maybe 6'6". He's really a guard, though. You play him at the 3, but he's a guard. And if you get a big who can give you good minutes and protect the rim, you could see the Billikens playing 4 guards a lot. And I think that'll probably happen. On the other hand, a Dandridge Dalger 5'4" combo, I mean, that's something that you could also see. I think the versatility, it's way too soon to kind of think of lineups, but I look at the roster and I see opportunities for Travis Ford to mix and match and go 8 or 9 deep and see what you got.
All right, and that'll wrap up today's show. And obviously, at the end of the NBA season, we will not be here as often on the two-man game, cutting down from a weekly to a little bit, kind of when the news hits. But obviously, the NBA draft coming up on June 22nd, that'll be something to talk about. And also, I know Rammer, he does so much work here at PlaysOnline.com, and a lot of that revolves around talking about baseball. So God knows Rammer's going to need something else to talk about.
Yes.
The rest of the summer. So we're just going to keep talking basketball every once in a while.
Yes.
To keep you. Make sure you're okay. Just do some wellness checks. Make sure you're not completely going stir crazy, cabin fever, talking about a Cardinals team that's so much.
Thank you for thinking about me and my emotional health.
Absolutely, of course, Rammer. We're always going to think about you. And speaking of emotional health, you know what keeps me emotionally happy, Rammer?
What's that?
It's when my car has a big issue and I don't really have to worry about it anymore. That keeps me emotionally happy. keeps the stress level low. My doctor's happy about that. I'm happy about that. And that's all because of Munganast St. Louis Acura, because no matter what happens to my car, I know I have a consistent, trustworthy shop that I can take it to. And it's easy to, which makes it the absolute best thing in the world. You're going to get on your phone. You can book your appointment there. You drive right in there. You don't have to worry about parking your car. Where's the attendant? Where's the person at the desk? Why is the person at the desk here? What do I do now? You just drive right in there, opens all up for you, and then you're able to jump right out. You can go wait in their wonderful waiting room, get a soda, get some muffins, or if you need to set up a vehicle or a shuttle to get you where you need to go because everyone's busy during the day, they can help you out there as well. If you haven't bought your car from Munganast St. Louis Acura, it doesn't matter. Take your car in there to get service. And if you're looking for a new car, they got new cars available every day. Just check it out. You can check out their whole entire availability right there on their website. So easy, so user-friendly. They got people right there on the website that can help you out if you got any big questions. Just the absolute best at Munganast St. Louis Acura. So, Rammer, thank you so much for talking some basketball for me this season. We'll talk to you soon because, again, we got to keep getting the baseball.
We'll talk in a week or 7 or 8 days.
There you go. Thank you so much, Rammer. You have a great rest of your day.
See you, buddy.
See you later, everybody.
From our roots in St. Louis, Royal Banks of Missouri is branching out to continue serving you with our locations in St. Charles, Jerseyville, Granite City, and now in Hannibal, Center, and New London. Royal Banks of Missouri, the community bank in your community.